And early on, probably within the first 10 minutes of being there, I found this absolutely mint condition vernier mechanism. I have been looking for decades for one of these things, at least for a reasonable price, and this one's fully functioning. All the gear reduction and everything is already built into the back end of it, so I can just drop this onto the front of a chassis with minimal issues on mounting, and be able to customize my own dial on it. So this is going to be pretty cool. Always wanted one of these, and Rick Campbell, KK7B, also did a VHF exciter, as I recall, somewhere maybe up around 6 meters, with one of these on the front end as a very long-term dedicated exciter for some of his VHF and UHF and microwave stuff. But anyway, that was kind of cool just seeing that, and it's just got a nice old school retro look about it that has a certain appeal. So another killer deal for the day is an LDG tuner kit, new in the box. This came from one of the ham clubs. Might be an estate sale, I'm not sure, or part of an estate, Silent Key estate. But I was able to pick up the whole kit here with everything, and I didn't realize this until just now. I've also got the remote tuning assembly box, remote head. Picked all this up for 15 bucks, and just the tuner alone used to sell for about 120. So I'm thinking that might make for a nice tuner for the base of a loaded vertical here at the Salem shack, but or possibly for my Montana shack, maybe the base loading for a caged vertical for 75 meters that I could extend to other bands, so that I can have some elevated ground radials away from the shack, but be able to tune at the base. That would be very appealing in terms of just a general strategy for low angle radiation setup. Another deal of the day was, I think this is a 4 or 6 amp 13.6 volt power supply, linear regulated job for, I think I picked this up for 15 bucks, and feels like it's got a pretty serious transformer inside, so that'd be a convenient just addition to the bench in terms of the time and effort necessary to really make one of these things. A lot of the work's already done for me. So might have to put some banana plugs on the front, maybe some other LEDs and metering, but for the price, couldn't turn it down. There's another nice item I found. I was debating when I was going to get around to kind of making my own version of this for in my bench here. And so I got this for 25 bucks. I mean, I couldn't buy the BNC or the bananas for that, and don't care so much about the meter, but just the mechanics of all of this setup for multiple outlets for 12 volts. So that was a nice deal. And here was another one that was a roll of the dice. Guy had a bunch of metal cabinets with all the plastic drawers in them, just stuffed with all kinds of stuff. And I'm thinking it might have been a Silent Key part of a table, but so I just think I spent 30 bucks for the 3 boxes. But I got all these nice carbon composition reasonable value resistors for my needs. It's not all these 100K-ish kinds of things from Tubera. There's just a wide variety in here, but these are pretty hard to find anymore, and a little bit on the pricey side, but I use them a fair bit, and wound up getting all these 450 volt electrolytics out of the deal. Those are spendy, although not that useful to me. A whole bunch of slide switches, all these grommets. Grommets are very annoying and expensive for what they are. In terms of if you don't have one and you need one, it's a drag. Nice terminal clips or contacts for some of my off-grid battery kinds of themes and whatnot, so that's convenient. Those are pricey at the hardware store. Not much utility out of this, just a bunch of power TO3s. a bag full of 1 meg pots with power switches on them. It's like the brass or copper wing nuts. Those aren't cheap new either. And all kinds of new in the packaging CMOS ICs. And wound up getting a number of these insulated shaft couplers, and those are really handy for the stuff I do. Got a whole bunch of new in the bag switches, and got a pretty nice antique knob out of the pile, and another nice knob, another one. It's a bit too retro for me. An N to BNC adapter, got a whole bunch of miscellaneous hardware out of the deal, and a bunch of old school linear ICs. Not too interesting in that regard. Did get a handful of transistors, these 4274s that I'd been using in another project, and I'd run out of them, so it's nice that the whole project can be based on these. It's a very generic NPN kind of device. A couple 5-volt regulators. Got numerous adapters, you know, BNC to other things. I mean, that alone probably paid for itself, and I use this kind of stuff all the time. I'm always fumbling for where to find more. And what was it? That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, some very nice little it's about 3 or 4 of these little relays in the pile. So not sure. I haven't figured out what the contact scheme on them is. It's probably just a single pole double throw, but sometimes that can be sufficient for a lot of applications I've got. And another dual crystal socket for FT243 style. So worth the roll of the dice. And I still got to keep the cabinets. They were in mint condition.